Lots of good reasons to take a good quality multivitamin. Even the best eating plans can fall short of meeting all of the necessary nutrients you need each day. Emerald Laboratories offers different multivitamin formulas with specialty men's, women's, and prenatal formulas to meet individual needs. Each formula contains coenzyme activated forms of B2, B6, and folic acid, Albion minerals, the gold standard in mineral chelates, vitamin K as MK7, and full spectrum mixed tocopherols, tocotrienols, and carotenoids. Folic acid is one of the standout nutrients in these formulas. 46% of the U.S. population does not process folic acid properly, putting them at greater risk for premature heart attack and stroke, depression, and even schizophrenia. Taking a once-daily multivitamin is an easy way to fill in small nutritional gaps. Learn more about Emerald Laboratories' science-based multivitamin formulas by going to ultralaboratories.com. That's ultralaboratories.com.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Welcome to the Reality Check. I'm your host, Ben Shenneman, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. Now, Donald Trump and the NFL, of course. What else is there these days, right? We do know Donald Trump does know something about football, right? He did run a USFL team, and he ran it pretty well. If you look at the last season, which they never got to play, they actually had people like Doug Flutie as a backup quarterback. That's how good their starting quarterback, Jim Kelly, was. They had Herschel Walker. They had a punter named Sean Landetta. They had many, many weapons. But that's not really what we want to talk about, right? Should Trump have said what he said about the NFL? And my answer would be no. Is it because I disagree with something he said? No. He just shouldn't be wasting his time on it. People like me should be doing that. Now, people are talking about NFL, freedom of speech. It's their right to say this stuff. The NFL is entertainment. So let's get that straight. If you want to go NFL freedom of speech, though, remember when the Dallas Cowboys wanted to put a little sticker on their helmet, right, to recognize the Dallas officers that were killed shot to death by the BLM, Black Lives Matter guy. NFL said no. If you wanted to put a chocolate chip on your helmet to say you liked cookies, the NFL would say no. If you want to wear special shoes to honor 9/11 victims, NFL says no. And that's fine. Why? It's their choice. It's work. The NFL is work for these people. So you think you have freedom of speech at work? Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of tough people that are raising their hands saying, yeah, I do. Really? Okay. If you're that bad, why don't you go to McDonald's and go get a job there? Why don't you be a cashier and we'll see what your freedom of speech gets you, right? This will be you. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you? Oh, excuse me. Before you order anything from a restaurant, you know that the Whataburger down the block, they actually have fresh meat, not frozen like ours. So you might want to go there if you like fresh meat for your family, unless you want to give your kids a frozen burger, that is. Oh, yeah. How can I help you today? Yep, that customer has gone down the block. And then guess what happens with your freedom of speech? Your boss calls you in the office and says, oh, by the way, we're going to let you go. But I thought I had freedom of speech. Yeah, some freedom of speech you have. Remember, it's work. You're there to do a job. And the job, number one job, is to protect the business, right? So there were a lot of people posting up their opinions there about this whole kneeling and stuff. And he had, like, the Green Bay Packers president, Mark Murphy, said it's unfortunate that the president decided to use his immense platform to make diverse and offensive statements about our NFL. We strongly believe that the players are leaders in our community and positive influences. They have achieved their positions through tremendous work and dedication and should be celebrated for the successes and positive impact. We believe it's important to support any of our players who chose to peacefully express themselves with the hope of change for good. As Americans, we are fortunate to be able to speak openly and freely. Stephen Ross of the Miami Dolphins. Our country needs the unifying leadership right now, not more divisiveness. We need to seek to understand each other and have civil discourse instead of condemnation about sound bites. Giants owner, who should worry about getting some wins, maybe firing the coach. I'm sorry, my personal opinion just got in the way there. Giants owner John Mara and Steve Tisch. Comments like we heard last night from our president are inappropriate, offensive, and divisive. We are proud of our players, the vast majority of whom use their NFL platform to make positive difference in our society. And more comments, like the winning organization, the winningest organization in football, of course, the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns owner Dee and Jimmy Haslam, who also donated to Trump, issued a statement. They said, "We view our organization, our league, and our players as great unifiers of people. Our players, just like so many across the league, have been honest and thoughtful with their attempt to bring awareness to the issue of inequality and social injustice." Well, my friends, we should talk about social injustice because they're right. There is social injustice. Let me tell you. You want to know some social injustice? Great, because I have some. So how about Rod Smith, right? Wide receiver, Denver Broncos. Arrested for choking, beating, and shoving his common-law wife at home near Denver. He pled guilty to a misdemeanor count of verbal abuse, 2 years probation, and counseling. Guess what? If that was your host, truly, right here, I'd still be in jail to this day. And that happened in 2000. Okay? Let's talk about January 31st, 2000. Baltimore Raven Ray Lewis, charged with murder. Accused of murder and stabbing death of two men outside a nightclub in Atlanta on the night of the Super Bowl. Nothing else better to do on the night of the Super Bowl. He pled guilty to obstruction of justice, 1 year of probation, and he was fined $250,000 by the NFL. That crime is still somehow unsolved. Guess what? If that was your host, not only would I be in jail, but I'd be on death row. Right? And we can go on and on. There are many more people. There's, let's see, who do we want to pick from our great list of people? We can do Andre Rison, false information, accused of lying to police about his name after a bar fight. He told police his name was Brock Middlebrook. Guilty, fined $219.50. Really? Bill Romanowski, indicted for drugs, accused of allegedly obtaining prescription diet pills to boost his performance on the field. Acquitted by a jury. Hero to the NFL now, right? Andre Rison, accused of writing bad checks for $78,800 to a jewelry store while he was playing for the Chiefs. Pled guilty, 2 years of probation, and he paid back in full. Yet, someone like me, I'd still be in jail. Corey Dillon, accused of striking his wife, fourth-degree assault, just went to a diversion program, $750 donation. That's it. All he had to do is give a little $750 donation. You know, let me tell you, any day if I went to court, yeah, we'd be in trouble here. How about Greg Little, reckless driving, accused of drag racing after one car crashed, a crash involving his 2011 Audi. He left about 40 yards of brake tracks. He was driving 127 miles an hour, they figured. Convicted of failure to stop, a $350 fine, $201 in court costs. Really? Yeah, I'd probably have faced at least a year of jail. And how about this winner? Leonard Little, arrested for DUI. He was pulled over at 3:45 a.m. near St. Louis, accused of speeding and drunk driving. But that's not it for this winner, who's played in the NFL multiple times. He previously drove drunk in 1989, which was 6 years before that one, and he killed a woman while he was drunk driving. He was acquitted on drunk driving charge by a jury and convicted of speeding. So this guy killed somebody, and then he got caught again for a DUI. no jail time. I'd still be in jail. I wouldn't even get out of jail for the first one, but that's okay. So when was the NFL people who talk about inequality and injustice, when are they going to talk about the injustice of their own players, who they commonly like to say what great citizens they are? You know, ISIS loves the fact that liberals are doing their work, protecting them while they terrorize the world. And the same in the NFL. Liberals want to take down the NFL players. They've always tried to find a way with this, with that. Kids shouldn't play football. And now the NFL's taking themselves down with their own protests. Do these people understand this isn't a political issue? We just want to enjoy a game. We just want to have entertainment. Imagine you're at the strip club and they stop dancing just to tell you, hey, vote for this guy, or hey, I think we need to worry about equal rights. You just don't care. You just want some peace. Like when you're in the bathroom and people are running crazy in your house and you're just trying to go to the bathroom and you're like, wow, I'm going to get some peace here. And somebody's knocking on the door and screaming, what you doing in there? Are you pooping? Are you pooping? What you doing in there? You just want some peace. This is our peace to get away from stuff. This is entertainment, and you people keep it up. You'll see what happens. You're listening to The Reality Check with your host, Ben Shannerman, on Independent Talk, KFNX 1100. And when we come back, well, I'm not going to tell you. It'll be a surprise. Stay tuned.
Face retirement with anticipation instead of apprehension. By hiring an Arizona Retirement Company, clients have access to higher levels of expertise than they would typically receive from industry financial planners and corporate advisors. As a retirement consultant in Gilbert, Arizona Retirement Company allows clients to gain a deeper understanding and appreciation for their retirement like never before. Call 480-524-0508 or visit azretirementco.com for more information. Again, that's 480-524-0508 or visit azretirementco.com for more information.
Are you ready to follow your intuition? I mean, see the big picture of your life and avidly follow your dreams? Hi, I'm Wendy Falcon.
And I'm David March. If your answer is yes, you're going to love our show, Insight Out.
It's about using your intuition to guide your everyday life, getting all of your answers from within. Join me
and me right here Saturdays at 6 p.m.
WendyFalcon.com.
Are you tired of dealing with chronic joint and back pain? Stem Cells of Arizona is the answer to your pain. We have had a 98% success rate managing and removing chronic pain. We are using stem cells that replace damaged, inflamed, and painful tissue with fresh, new, healthy tissue. Stem Cells of Arizona is located at 15425 North Greenway Hayden Loop, Suite A200. Call 480-247-8660. That's 480-247-8660 for your free consultation.
Stand by for your daily act of civil disobedience. You're listening to Joe Walsh.
I was on MSNBC this morning, and I got into a little tussle with a liberal because I said, to me, Trump is like our first citizen president. The guy's a regular guy. He talks like Jimmy down the street.
This is the Joe Walsh Show.
Joe Walsh, nights at 7 p.m. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Where will you be when the dust settles?
How do you feel, sir?
Dust storms are a year-round threat in Arizona. If you get caught in a dust storm, pull completely off the roadway. Turn your lights off, set your parking brake, keep your seatbelt on, and wait it out. It won't be long. Where will you be when the dust settles? That's up to you. Do the smart thing, do the safe thing. Pull aside, stay alive. Visit az511.gov for road conditions before leaving your house. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's summertime in Arizona, and the heat is on at Camelback Toyota. This is Shoeshine Mike. Come on down and see our new cars, used cars, new 2017 Toyota Camrys, new 2017 Toyota Corollas, 2017 RAV4s, Tacoma trucks, Highlanders, SUVs. We got them all. And our top-of-the-line service department has a quick repair shop for minor mishaps. Our goal is to be our customer's champion. Stop by soon and let us exceed your expectations. Camelback Toyota. Listen to the Shoeshine Mike Radio Hour every Friday at 11 a.m. here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Your host, Ben Shanneman, here with you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. If you missed the last segment, we talked about our entertainment being reduced to annoyance. The NFL, take a knee, don't take a knee. You know, who do they think is going to watch this after they annoy us? We're just here for entertainment. Are the guys in skinny jeans, are they going to buy the NFL tickets? I doubt it. You see, speaking of Cleveland Browns, the greatest organization in football, Isaiah Crowell, who would be a backup running back even on most high school teams, he posted a nice little picture on his social media of a police officer's neck getting cut by a guy dressed in all black. That's really classy. But, you know, he's being held down. He's being held down. So enough of we'll take a break out of the, things that aren't that nice to talk about. And I just wanted to wish a happy birthday to two people that I know. Yesterday was Jose's birthday, and he's Mr. Bash's Food City and now AJ's, a lifer with the company. And then today is my buddy Jeff Jacobs' birthday, professional caretaker and sports prognosticator. Both are great people, and they make the world a better place. And sadly, that's probably the saddest part of our show, because the rest of it is dealing with people who don't make the world a better place. Now, we all know about Maxine Waters. She does nothing of value. But we also have another brain surgeon in politics, and her name is Sheila Jackson Lee. And if you want to waste a few minutes of your life, you can watch a video of her kneeling and talking about how she kneels for this and she kneels for that and she kneels for whatever. Sheila Jackson Lee is one of the least intelligent people, not only in the government, but she is one of the most unintelligent people in America. She said things like she's actually in a congressional hearing. She was looking for and did not see the flag put on Mars. She thinks that maybe the world welfare should be changed to something of transitional living fund for what it is, for people to be able to live, because we wouldn't want to encourage them to get jobs. She said things like, let us vote to provide for unemployment insurance for working men and women so that the faces across America will not have the terror of desperation on their faces. We have martial law. What that means, and my colleagues know what it means, is that you can put a bill up in just minutes. I didn't know what that meant, so I guess she's, great. Here's another one of her great things. I stand here as a free slave because this Congress came together. She was never a slave. Don't condemn gangbangers. They got guns. They are trafficked. They are not enforced. That they are straw purchased and they can come into places even that have strong gun laws. Why? Because we don't have sensible gun legislation. This girl, oh my gosh, she would confuse a drunk person sober. So there's another one of the winners, Sheila Jackson Lee. Now, we had the big revolt from the Harvard facility, right? More than 150 professors in Harvard had an open revolt against the university after they rescinded the PhD program offer to ex-inmate Michelle Jones, and they withdrew the fellowship invitation to convicted leaker Chelsea Manning. Two winners. Everybody knows about Manning. Once a dude, we paid to make Chelsea a girl, and we also paid with our soldiers' lives for all the secrets she gave away. And then her buddy Barack Obama there let her out of jail early, and now Harvard thinks she's a hero. But To winner to top that one is good old Michelle Jones. She served 20 years in prison, and she has a passion and talent for history. What did she serve? She was actually originally sentenced to 50 years in jail after she admitted she beat her 4-year-old son and left him alone for days, and then he was found dead. She actually buried the child without telling police or the child's father or his family. So she got released after 20 years for good behavior. Among her scholarly achievements. But it's so nice that Harvard's outraged. You know, Harvard should just be closed down as a university. They have no moral compass. They're a disgrace to America, an embarrassment. I'm sure everybody there takes a knee, and they expect America to take it up to you-know-what. That's how sad it is in Harvard today. Now we can move on to another shining college, University of Pittsburgh. University of Pittsburgh students from the Fossil-Free Pit Coalition and the United States Against Sweatshops, yes, that's it, the United States Against Sweatshops, band together in a rally for transparency. So they had a protest, and the comical part about it is, and they should make like comedy skits. If Saturday Night Live was a real comedy show, they would make comedy skits about this stuff. Their list of demands included that all student workers be paid a minimum living wage of $15 an hour. Now, that's kind of weird wording, a living wage. Like, you're not really living at $15 an hour. You're kind of just paying your bills. So if they want these kids to have a living wage, why don't we go to like $30 an hour? At $30 an hour, I think you're kind of living at least a little. I mean, you might not be Floyd Mayweather or Conor McGregor, but still at $30 an hour, you're at least living some life. The university will freeze tuition hikes and advocates for federal cancellation of student debt and free tuition. So that's kind of too wordy. I mean, if the university freezes tuition hikes, like what do they need to do that for? If they're giving out free tuition, they don't need tuition hikes. It's just free. There is no hike. And cancellation of student debt. That's so great. You spent money on going to school. You've done nothing with your life, as many of these people do. You get a degree in psychopsychology that amounts to nothing. You could have read the back of a Fruity Pebbles box and probably gained more knowledge than you did in school. And you went to 8 years to get an associate's degree, and we're supposed to forget your debt. That's so nice. The university will vocally endorse a grad student union. Okay, whatever. We'll give them that one maybe. The university will immediately stop spending money, time, and resources on union-busting tactics and creating intimidating environments that prevent workers from having free choice. Firstly, these schools are a business. So if they don't want unions in them, it's their choice. I mean, personally, if I ran a business, I wouldn't want a union in it. You open up a business to have your dream, to have freedom, to have creativity, and either people come on board or they don't. They know up front what it is. So I wouldn't need a union to tell me when somebody can go pee, when somebody can't, how much break I'm going to give them, how much vacation I'm going to give them. I'm going to tell them up front. They'll know, and either they'll like it or they won't. I mean, that's just the way it is. The university divests its financial holdings into fossil fuels. Okay, then if they took them out of fossil fuels, you'd lose money, and then your tuition would go up. So they want them not to do anything to make profit. The university takes a firm stance against private prisons. Any investment or connections between private prison corporations and the University of Pittsburgh should be made transparent and terminated. So basically, the people that want to run the business that they're going to. The university declares itself a sanctuary campus. So they want the university to protect all rapists, because those are some of the sanctuary, and then they'll sue the campus for having rapists there. I think that's a good technique. It's a way to make money. Who really needs, so you go 8 years to school, you get an associate's degree, you have a sanctuary campus, you get raped, and you sue for $5 million, you never have to work. Oh, okay. Sounds sensible. Gender-neutral bathrooms. All bathrooms are gender-neutral. Who cares? Nobody cares if you go in the wrong bathroom, to be honest. I mean, men don't care when women walk into their bathroom. We don't throw a tizzy. The university prioritize and provide affordable housing for all student tenants. And you want free tuition and free housing? Holy cow, man, beyond greedy. The campus cops are disarmed, and city cops are banned from campus. That's great. So when you get shot or you get mugged, don't call any cops. Hey, call your buddies at the ACLU, right? Because they'll come and help you. You're listening to the Reality Check here with your host, Ben Shannerman. And coming up, we'll have another great segment. We will have our first Reality Check quiz.
Where the truth lives. Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Listen to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX streaming live at 1100KFNX.com.
In Alabama, voters have elected conservative Roy Moore as the GOP nominee to fill a U.S. Senate seat vacated by U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. After the results, opponent Luther Strange thanked President Trump for his support.
The president took a chance. He didn't have to come down. I'm sure he'll be criticized for coming to campaign for me. That's what loyal friends do. Sometimes it's more than politics. Sometimes it's about just a friendship, just a common goal to make the country better.
The IRS is now sharing information with special counsel Robert Mueller about key Trump campaign officials and possibly even the president himself. Correspondent Pamela Brown explains.
It's not clear whether the special counsel has asked for or obtained the president's tax returns. Sources say if Mueller's office does have Trump's tax returns, then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the Russia probe, likely would have needed to sign off given the sensitivity surrounding the matter.
Ahead of Wednesday's opening bell on Wall Street right now, Dow futures up 1. I'm Elliot Francis.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center, for tonight, clear skies, low 65. Sunny and 91 on your Wednesday. Clear skies continue Wednesday night with a low of 67. Sunny on your Thursday as we reach a high of 94, 98 on Friday with sunshine, and 98 on Saturday. I'm Tim Livingston from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 80 degrees.
Next news in 30 minutes or when it breaks. Here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Would you like to expand your business? I'm Francis Battaglia, president of Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. KFNX is one of the most cost-effective and powerful ways to get your message out, reach potential customers, and grow your business. Advertise for only $10 per 30-second spot on top shows like Laura Ingraham and Michael Savage. Call me at 602-277-1100 extension 1463. 602-277-1100 extension 1463.
We really ought to get the patriots of this country, not just the motorcycle clubs and people that, still believe in the Second Amendment and private property, but the veterans who've been targeted by the Democrats, by the globalists. I mean, we've got the reports, I've shown them on air, where DHS domestic terror warning, where they said that we stand by veterans being the number one terror threat in America with no evidence, no metrics, no nothing.
Alex Jones, nights, 12 to 3 a.m. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Hi, Rick and Dave here. The Elton Brothers on KFNX. Have you ever pulled in front of a listing, can't get a hold of anyone, and just wanted more info and photos? That's so annoying. Well, we have an app for you. Simply text Elton to 32323. It's completely free and downloads right to your mobile device. So any real estate sign across the valley, text Elton to 32323 and get all the MLS info right to your phone. Immediately. The Elton Brothers, putting real estate in the palm of your hand.
Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m., 1100 KFNX.
Hi, this is Ken with Online Trading Academy Phoenix. Let's speak frankly. The stock market's near an all-time high. This is a hollow market driven higher only by the Federal Reserve and record margin debt, not the real economy. If you're serious about making money in the market, register for one of our half-day classes to learn how to create more income and protect and build wealth in just a few hours a day. Mention 1100 KFNX and get 2 free tickets, but seating is very limited, so call 8448-INCOME now.
Are you or someone you know in search of high-quality senior services? Then don't delay. Contact Glencroft Senior Living today at 623-939-9475. Glencroft Senior Living can assist you or your loved one with independent or assisted living options, HUD housing, as well as skilled nursing and rehab options. Don't wait. Call Glencroft Senior Living today at 623-939-9475 or find more info online at glencroft.com. That's GLENCROFT.com.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Your host, Ben Shannerman here. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. So, Roy Moore wins the big election tonight, and that means the American people win. Luther Strange, very good in defeat. He said that Trump came down for him out of loyalty, out of friendship. And I agree. You heard Trump's speech. If you want to get off of the NFL part of it, he talked about Luther Strange and what friendship was and what Luther did for him, and he was doing this in return. So good for them, good for Luther Strange taking like a man, and good for America that Judge Moore won, because it will be good. Now, on to the Reality Check's first quiz. I'm going to ask a series of questions, and it'll be multiple choice answers. And I will give you the answer, of course, at the end. But play along in your head, and let's see if you can get who it is I'm talking about. So, who said a woman enjoys intercourse with her man as she fantasizes about being raped by 3 men simultaneously? A, Donald Trump. B, Bernie Sanders. C, Bill Clinton. D, Hillary Clinton. So, although Hillary Clinton might agree because she's always condoned Bill Clinton and what he's done, and I'm sure many of leftists want to say Donald Trump, the correct answer is B, Bernie Sanders. The original 7 countries in the travel ban came from which president? A, Donald Trump. B, Barack Obama. C, George W. Bush. Or D, Bill Clinton. The answer, although many might think it's Donald Trump because he's such a racist, came from the original president racist himself. Barack Obama was the correct answer. He did list the original 7 countries which the travel ban came from, and Trump just adopted the same policy and amended. Okay, next question on your quiz. Who said adding $4 trillion in debt is unpatriotic? A, Barack Obama. B, Donald Trump. C, Richard Nixon. Or D, Uncle Sam? The answer is A, Barack Obama. He said it was unpatriotic when George Bush had $4 trillion in debt. So what'd he do? He showed you what unpatriotic really was by dropping another 10 himself. Thanks for letting us know you are unpatriotic, Barack Obama. Our federal budget is stretched to the limit by illegal aliens getting welfare, food stamps, medical care, and other benefits, often without paying any taxes. Was that A, Donald Trump, B, Steve Bannon, C, Harry Reid, or D, Nancy Pelosi? Correct answer would be C, Harry Reid. So I guess Harry Reid is a racist too. Oh, Harry, maybe that's why he retired. He didn't want you to find out he was racist. Or maybe it was he got punched in the face a few times by his brother. I don't know. But that's not the question. Question here, in Delaware, the largest growth of population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. Who said those famous words? Was it A, Donald Trump, B, Harry Reid, C, George Bush, or D, Joe Biden? Answer is D, Joe Biden. Another winner, people of the people. Okay, on the subject of 43-year-old Roman Polanski raping and sodomizing a 13-year-old girl. Now remember, Roman Polanski is a hero of the left and people are trying to get him back to America. But let me go back to this question. So on the fact that he raped and sodomized a 13-year-old girl, here's what somebody said. I know it wasn't rape. It was something else. But I don't believe it was rape. He went to jail, and when they let him out, he was like, you know, what are these guys going to do? Give me 100 years in jail? I'm not staying. So that's why he left. Now, who said that? A, Donald Trump. B, Ted Danson. C, Norm from Cheers. Or D, Whoopi Goldberg. That's right. D, Whoopi Goldberg. Fan of rapists and sodomizer. Great. Okay, here's one. I've been in 57 states, and I think I have one left to go. Who said that? A, Donald Trump. B, Barack Obama. C, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Or D, IP Freely. That was, you guessed it, B, Barack Obama. On the troops. You know, education, if you make the most of it, if you study hard, you do your homework, and you make every effort to be smart, you can do well. If you don't, you get stuck in Iraq. Was that A, Donald Trump, B, Maxine Waters, C, John Kerry, or D, Saddam Hussein? Now, if I was going to make an educated guess, and I wasn't that educated, I would say Maxine Waters, because that sounds like nasty thing that somebody hateful would say. And although that would be a good guess, the answer is C, John Kerry. Here's a good one. If you take out the killings, Washington actually has a very, very low crime rate. Was that mastermind of intellectual science, A, Donald Trump, B, Marion Barry, C, Jeb Bush, or D, Richard Nixon? And the answer was B, Marion Barry, former mayor and criminal. Well, he's a criminal his whole life, but I mean former mayor. So hopefully you passed the quiz and you learned something. And if you didn't, well, hopefully it made you laugh. So about 10 years ago, I actually was interviewed, and I was asked a bunch of questions, and it was quite humorous. I just stumbled across it in my papers. It was about, I guess, diversity, you could say. So the first question I was asked is, what is racism, and how does racism affect you? So it's that racism is a belief that race accounts for difference in human character. Also, a particular race is superior to others. And my answer was, I'm Jewish, and there are a lot more people than I thought that are anti-Semitic. The fact is, it doesn't affect me. I actually use it to teach others about the benefits of loving everyone. There are a lot of other reasons to not like people, and it should not be about something you can't control like race. Why would you consider yourself a racist or would you consider yourself a racist person, and why? I'd say I'm not racist unless you count idiots as a race of people. I have friends that are all shapes, colors, sizes, and interests. You know, one of the things I know that is funny would make me not racist, of course, I'm not, but just, I remember sometimes I would talk about a roommate I had for years. I would talk to people at work, and then one time they came over and met him, and he was black, and they're like, dude, he never said he was black. And I'm like, does it matter? They're like, no. They're like, it's funny, though. Almost everybody brings that stuff up. They're like, you just talked about it like he was a normal human being. I'm like, well, that's the way it is. Okay. Do you live and or work in a diverse community? I live and work in a diverse community. The population was growing rapidly. In the 90s, the population went from about 21,000. In 2005, it was over 39,000 people. Now it's over 41,000. In 1990, the Hispanic population was under 2%, and in 2005, it was up to almost 20%. You know, the town was made up of a variety of white, Hispanic, African-American, Asian, Hawaiian. Those are the most common races found at the time I was living in Bullhead City. How would you feel about having more diversity? Well, it's great to be a diverse person, and it's the same for having diversity in people. Understanding that every individual is unique and blessed in life, it breeds happiness, not anger like racism. A rich mix of people, skills, and cultures that can enable a greater range of inputs, viewpoints, and experiences, all which generate more ideas, more challenges to traditional thinking, and more chances of coming up with winning solutions can only be positive for willingness to succeed. But I don't think that means that you should just choose people for diverse reasons. Obviously, you always go with the most qualified person. But yes, it is great to have a diverse field of people. let's see, anything else? Yeah. How do I think I can combat the issue of racism and promote integration? Well, I think education's the key. A lot of people have been doing this by habit. You know, they learned from their parents who learned from their parents. And as time goes on, by the anger of old days grows slim. We need to treat everyone with respect as a country. We need to stop living in the past. People are getting paid today for things that had nothing to do with them personally. This creates anger. Two wrongs don't make a right. Therefore, we should not pay back people for crimes of the past. Move on from the past and learn from it. We need to lose the entitlement that we think we should have and work as a unit. There's enough for everybody if we share, but not enough for everyone if we don't. Enough said on that. You're listening to the Reality Check here with your host, Ben Shannerman. When we come back, we'll have one more awesome segment, and we'll talk about not only what liberals say, but what they really mean.
Hey everyone, this is Ken Beckrick, owner of Online Trading Academy Phoenix. One of my students recently told me that Online Trading Academy is the best kept secret in the Valley. Well, let me tell you, if you're a business owner, the last thing you want is for your business to be a secret in the community it serves, even if it is the best one. So I'm offering a series of complimentary workshops to get the word out. The workshop will benefit beginners who want to generate monthly income trading the financial markets. Additionally, it'll benefit those who have no interest in trading but want to manage their long-term retirement accounts. And if you're an experienced trader who's struggling to generate consistent profits, this workshop's for you too. Admission is free for those who call 8448-INCOME right now. That's 844-846-2663. When you attend, you'll also receive 5 of our most popular home study courses absolutely free. Call 8448-INCOME now. Seating is limited. Call 844-846-2663 today.
Purple Lotus Productions would like to invite you to the Embracing Your Journey Expo on Sunday, September 24th at the DoubleTree Resort in Scottsdale. Enjoy a variety of topics and vendor booths showcasing insights into wellness, nutrition, and the meaning of life. The Embracing Your Journey Expo on Sunday, September 24th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the DoubleTree Resort in Scottsdale. For more information, visit purplelotusproductions.com. That's purplelotusproductions.com or call 480-296-1917.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Why do I bother? Because what I want you to understand is you can do something about your situation, where you are, what you can do, how you can isolate and insulate yourself from all of this political and financial garbage that goes on out there.
The Del Walmsley Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Everything you need to know about finance and real estate. For more information, mypassiveincomesystem.com. mypassiveincomesystem.com.
Hi, this is the D-Man from the Talkin' One Rockin' Radio Show. Join the Talkin' One Rockin' Radio Show team. Sponsorship, advertisement, or be on the show. Call the Talkin' One Rockin' Radio Show promoter, Mr. Ray at 480-459-6519. 480-459-6519. Join the #1 show on Saturday night, the Talkin' One Rockin' Radio Show. 480-459-6519.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to outer space. Please stand by.
Welcome back to the Reality Check. Here with you every Tuesday night on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. If you missed the last segment, we had our first Reality Check quiz, and so you would get an F. But there is a makeup quiz. If you check on my Facebook and YouTube, you can take it with us again. Now, we all remember when a president didn't care if you took a knee. Remember Bill Clinton? He didn't care when Monica Lewinsky took a knee, or two for that fact, right? So, with needle and thread, as I always say, when other people say so, but I say it because it's a habit. Liberals, what they're really talking about. They say one thing, but what it really means. So liberals use their, as they say to other people, dog whistles. They love to say dog whistles, dog whistles. So when you hear them say peaceful protests, that means the liberals weren't hurt while they threw bottles and bricks at the cops. That's a peaceful protest. Because if they got hurt, it wouldn't be a peaceful protest. Voter suppression means anytime you want to stop the dead from voting, or you want people to actually not vote more than once by showing an ID. That's voter suppression. The Constitution, for them, that's an outdated piece of paper that should have eraser marks on it and be rewritten every time they see fit. Fascist, when they use that word around here, they're talking about if you ever want to cut a program, or if you don't even, it's not even cut it. Like, let's say they use $6 billion for welfare. And they say, next year we want to spend $7 billion. And you say, how about you spend 6.1? You fascist pig, you're trying to cut welfare and people are starving. Children are going to be born with 3 legs. They're going to have 4 eyes because you're cutting welfare. No, actually, I raised it 0.1 billion, which we shouldn't have. We should have cut it. You're a fascist. Thanks. We want the government out of our bedrooms. That means they want you to pay for their birth control and for their abortions. So whenever they say they want the government out of the bedrooms, it means that you're going to pay for abortions and birth control. That would mean you actually want the government in your bedrooms. Whatever. Greedy. So whenever they call you greedy, you know what that means, right? It means that you actually want to keep the money you earned. And how dare you want to keep the money you earned? Open-minded. That's when you agree with their leading idiots. When you agree with Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, Nancy Pelosi, formerly Harry Reid, Chuck U. Schumer. When you agree with them all the time, no matter what they say, if the sky is blue and they tell you it's purple and pink polka dotted, and you say that, then you're open-minded. If you disagree with them, you're not open-minded. A courageous speech. Now, courageous speech is kind of like when 100 people say Donald Trump should be impeached and you're the 101st. Or when you're at a liberal campus like UC Berkeley and you talk about you don't want any border walls. That's courageous speech. Not when you go into enemy territory and say something that people won't agree with, but you have the right to say. That's not courageous speech. That's hate speech. But courageous speech is what they do. You know, it's like if 6 kids are beating up one and you come in and throw a punch, you're courageous. Not if you stand up when it's one-on-one. No, then you're just a hate monger. The American flag. Now, to the liberals, that's a symbol of oppression, should be banned from everything. See, they wouldn't be taking any and protesting if you didn't have American flags. Guns are the cause of all crimes. Whenever liberals talk about guns, they cause all crimes. Doesn't matter if somebody got stabbed to death, it was a gun's fault. It doesn't matter if somebody loaded a gun, gave it to a kid, and the kid who's like 2 years old shoots somebody else, it's the gun's fault. It's not the dumb adult who gave it to the kid's fault. It's the gun's fault. You know, Jesus, he's somebody who's irrelevant. Although when they need Jesus, he's there for them. But in general, if you want Jesus, nope. And then you can remember from the NFL, one of their first protests, remember the morons in St. Louis, the St. Louis Rams that had their hands up and they paraded on the field? Hands up, don't shoot. Means that police should never be allowed to shoot you, even if you're shooting at them, attacking them, and trying to kill them. Sorry, you point a gun at the police and they still shouldn't shoot you. Hands up, don't shoot. That's what that phrase means. You know how many people still actually believe that was a real event, that the dude actually said that and he was an innocent victim? It's funny because the liberals never ever got angry at the fact that their buddy actually attacked an immigrant. They didn't care about that immigrant. It was the first immigrant they didn't care about. You know, if they say you're sexist, that means you're disagreeing with either Pocahontas, the fake Indian, Elizabeth Warren, or Hillary Clinton, you're not allowed to say that. A radical position, when you hear that term from them, it means you're just not in 100% agreement with what they say. That means you're radical. Angry white male, anybody who votes Republican, you're an angry white male. Anti-intellectual means you dispute anything that's spewed out in these liberal cultures like Harvard, the bastion of non-freedom. Racist, those who believe that you should actually be judged upon what you do, that makes you a racist because you can't do that. Climate change denier, that's anybody who doesn't agree with everything Al Gore says or any of the scientist stuff with the snake oil that they sell you when they say all scientists agree, when everybody in science knows that's a false race. They should really, if they wanted to be honest, and it would be actually funnier if they said it, if they went on and said that all scientists who get paid to agree that global warming is real. That would make more sense because that's what it is. They're paying these scientists, and yes, they agree it's happening. Bipartisanship. Bipartisanship is like, in Arizona, it's huge. That's when Jeff Flake and John McShane agree to what Democrats want. That's bipartisanship. That's what we get. That's what it is there. Heartless, that's when you want to cut back on programs that give free stuff and make people not work and take free things. That would mean you're heartless. Now, we can't let a week go by. And I know you guys think I forgot this week, but we haven't talked about our buddy Brian West from NBC. We're still waiting for the Phoenix police to make an arrest for the fake news where he was there when somebody vandalized a statue, came right out in front of his news van. The on-the-spot reporter couldn't even see some guy vandalizing a statue in front of his news van. Crazy. So remember, let me fill you in for those of you who don't know. There was a statue. It was vandalized. Now, there was a guy in a bike. It was on videotape, and I guess these guys didn't know it was on videotape. They took this guy on the bike, was there in the middle of the early morning. Nobody was around, and he decided, I'm not going to vandalize this just yet. I'm just waiting for a van to pull up with its light shining on the statue, then I'll do it. So then the news van comes up, pulls up, shines its lights on the statue, and then this guy goes to work and starts vandalizing it. I mean, I always thought that's the way crime worked. It's like, we don't do the crime when nobody's there. We have to wait till somebody's there. So we kind of don't have a witness, but we do, right? Because we're trying to get caught? I don't understand. But again, where is the Phoenix police on the arrest of somebody? The vandalizer? They should be posting pictures everywhere about that. Brian West and his news crew, tell me how they weren't in on it. They were in on it. When will they be arrested? We are waiting here, and we're not waiting here patiently. And if you remember a few years, there was a president that also didn't really care less for our national anthem. Remember, he had his hands by his crotch when the national anthem was on. Well, even Hillary Clinton could pick up her heavy hand of crimes, to put her hand over her heart. This guy, Barack Obama, had his hands down by his crotch while the national anthem. You have Trump hugging a flag, Trump saluting the flag, Trump picking up hats for our soldiers. And the left is condemning him for everything. Sad but true. I'm your host, Ben Shenneman on the Reality Check. Thanks for listening. We're here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.